A story that caught my eye within the past few weeks was antibacterial 3D printing.
All right, so I'm going to feign a little ignorance here. So when a part or an object is 3D printed, it's porous.
Yes.
Because the plastic is porous, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how are they going about the antimicrobial process to ensure that? Is it just that how does it work?
It's a special material. So it's a silver infused compound that they can essentially blend into normal 3D printing materials. And so the silver compound kills bacteria, and it doesn't allow them to link together and form bacteria films, which I learned was a thing while reading this article.
Would it? So, all right, where does this hold the most practical application?
Oh, I
so
know.
Obviously,
Video game controllers. Those things are gross.
Video game
fair
controllers.
point. They do often say the remote control in your house is the dirtiest thing you
Yeah.
have. That's a very good point.
I have also seen like silver lined like clothes that are supposed to just like eliminate odor because the silver kills bacteria.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But really the
These
biggest
are my silver undies.
Yes.
You only need one pair.
You'll only need one pair for the
It's
rest
a
of
silver
your
surfer
life.
costume. It's just one piece of it. So antibacterial.
Yes.
And obviously, healthcare is going to be implantables. You look at surgical devices,
exactly right.
Things like that. That opens up a lot for them.
So today, 3D printing is used in the medical industry for lots of different things, but it hasn't been used for things that actually touch like wounds or in surgery because two things. One, it's the porosity, like you mentioned.
Right.
Both
Porosity is a word?
Porosity is
I'm
a
going to
word.
use that. I'm
You
going to
did
find a
it,
way to
Kevin.
use that.
I just always use porous, so I would have probably said porousness. So I'm glad to have learned porosity.
Porosity. But 3D prints, especially FDM ones, have both micro and macro porosity.
Yeah.
And so the macro porosity is the larger areas of porosity just made by the little indentations in between each layer.
Mm-hmm.
And then it also has the overall porosity.
So it's actually a part of the printing process. It's not like
A tumble treatment afterwards where you coat it in silver
I think it's
or something,
entirely
right?
material based.
Yeah.
And so I think this...
Almost like carbon fiber?
Yeah.
Okay.
So instead of having chopped carbon fiber, I don't know the specifics. This is from the University of Sheffield, by the way.
Oh, of course.
Over in the UK. Of course, Sheffield,
Leading researchers.
They're always doing crazy stuff over there. I think it's just a mix-in for the filament. But the possibilities of, extending 3D printing's reach into the medical field, I think, is definitely worth noting.
Yes.
I can't think of any other 3D printing process or material that can actually be used and implanted
In
into
your persons.
people.
Yes.
And as I'm saying that now,
Titanium.
I realize titanium. Ugh, you're right. As I think about it, you're right. There are lots of other 3D printing things that have been implanted into people, but it's few and far between, right? It might be...
This opens up a lot more opportunity
Yes.
because it overcomes one of those big challenges.
Yes.
So
more for medical tools compared to implants, I think, is where this is going to come into play.
like specialty tools for certain surgeries and things like that that'd otherwise be expensive to recreate limited numbers of, or
Exactly.
Yeah.
And doing different geometries. Like, every body is different.
Right.
And so being able to quickly, cheaply make custom medical tools that can be used in surgery could be, really beneficial for
Yeah.
a lot of people.
Interesting. Very cool applications that could come from that for sure.
Yeah. I
What
agree.
about even just like, I'm just trying to think if there are like household things that I would, like you said, I love that your first idea was a remote so that it's not, picking up the bacteria in your house. But
I have a story to tell you.
There are probably lots of practical applications for that. Toilet seats.
Yes.
Lots of stuff.
It should be toilet seats.
I hope he doesn't ever listen to this podcast. So I'm not going to give a name out. But the reason why I thought video game controller is the first time I went over to one of my friend's house. And he just got married. He's about to move out of his parents' house.
And you started smelling his remote controls.
No.
Okay.
All right, I didn't know him that well.
You saw him wipe his sleeve, wipe his nose.
No,
and
I didn't
then
know him
grab
that
the
well. He
controller.
was my wife is best friends with his wife, and so I was just trying to find something to relate to him with. And in his bedroom, there was this box, and on the top of the box was weightlifting chalk. So like you see those
Yeah.
big strong dudes, they put chalk on, they do a lift.
Yeah.
Hey, I go to the gym. I was like, oh, you weightlift?
Oh
And
no, I don't like those.
He stares me right in the eyes. He says, actually, that's while I'm playing video games and my hands get too sweaty. Not a joke.
I guess that's a real concern. I guess.
Shouldn't be.
When
And
you-
I said, oh, okay, all right. And just, he didn't think it
I
was
mean,
weird.
these are the tools of the trades that professional gamers, Ben. This is what separates the men from the boys.
When you're gaming harder than anyone else, you need chalk.
When you're
It's
worried
a
about
sport.
calluses on your thumbs,
Yes.
yeah.
I just couldn't imagine ever touching that controller if his concern was my hands are slipping off of this because I play too long.
It keeps flying out of my hands.
To be fair, I don't think any of us are making fun of professional video game players. I suck at
Oh,
video
hell no.
games.
I'm making fun of people with really sweaty palms, to be clear.
You know, Ben, now I take offense to that. I'm a very sweaty person.